Hello, and welcome to Inventors Helping Inventors. I'm your host, Alan Beckley, inventor of the Wonder Wallet. If you're an inventor searching for proven ways to make money with your invention, if you dream to see your product selling in stores everywhere, you've come to the right place. There's no better place to get help than from experts, inventors who've already achieved success. Every week, I interview successful inventors, asking them the questions you want to know. Tune in to learn from the experts so you can get your invention out of the tank and into the bank. Welcome to episode number 535. Today, it's Thursday, and that means it's time for another Thursday thought. So what is your Thursday thought for today? It's this. It's a question. Do you have a time budget? You know, when I was young, my parents advised me that I must budget my money. Yeah, I would say in agreement. But it's advice I often didn't really follow. You know how that ends. With a trite but true phrase, you have too much month at the end of your money. Not a lot of fun. But what is a time budget, and why must you have one? Let me restate this to be a bit more succinct. If you wish to succeed as an inventor, you must have a time budget for your invention business every week. This means you must set aside or carve out a bit of time each day or week to devote specifically to inventing, or it won't happen. Now, this sounds easy enough, but in practice, it is not easy. Unlike money, you can't save some of your time and then use it later. And each day, 24 hours will tick away no matter how you choose to use your time. And if you're like many inventors I speak to every week, you may say, I want to spend 5 hours each week working on my invention. But at the end of each week, you haven't spent 5 hours inventing. You haven't even spent 1 hour. Why? Because you had an intention, but no commitment to a time budget. So let me tell you a brief story about myself, about a big project I had. I wanted to write my first novel of about 350 pages. It's been said something like 80% of people want to write a book, but 95% never do. Well, I was like that 95% for quite some time. For about 6 months, I shared my novel idea with Sean, a friend of mine, who truly was a dedicated writer. Sean would say to me, you know, you shared your book ideas and your characters with me, and they sound interesting. Well, how much have you written? And I had to sheepishly admit to him that I had written none. All of it was in my head still. He asked me, why? I said, Sean, with all else I'm doing, I just don't have the time. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever said words like that? Let me tell you what Sean did. He scolded me and said, Alan, you'll never find the time. You must make the time if it's a priority. You must carve some time every day for writing if you ever want to get that book out of your head and onto paper. That night, I decided to quit making excuses, and to make it happen, I decided to follow Sean's advice. I made a commitment to my intention to write my book. So every morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., I committed to writing my book. Not a lot of time, just an hour each day. but I stuck with it day in, day out, 7 days a week. Guess what? 18 months later, I had completed my first manuscript of over 140,000 words, about 350 pages, of my book called 2040 Rise of the Bots. Well, much like inventing, marketing a book is much more challenging than just writing it is. But for a novel, you've got nothing to sell until it is written. So, my advice to you is that if you're serious about inventing, create a time budget for it each week. Make it specific so you can stick to it. If it is 5 hours each week, which 5 hours? You could make it 1 hour each day, Monday through Friday. Maybe get up 1 hour earlier so it gets done, Monday through Friday. Or perhaps it's 2 dedicated time blocks, each weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Carve those 2 time blocks out on your calendar and stick to it. Remember, each day when you arise, 24 hours will go away whether you work on inventing or not. Create a time budget and stick to it. Let me tell you, you will be amazed at what happens. Thanks as always for listening, and we'll be talking to you again soon. Thanks so much for tuning in to Inventors Helping Inventors. If you like the show, please tell your friends about it. Make sure to subscribe in iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts so you won't miss a single episode. Talk to you soon.